The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Okay, it's mincha time. Let's go and daven. There's a minyan about to begin.
Daven? Now? We just showed up at the convention, and every minute here is so valuable.
But what about davening with a minyan?
Have you forgotten why we came here? Our business has been struggling now for the past 2 years, and we need to meet as many people as possible to be able to make as many contacts and potential customers as possible.
We need to do our ishtadlus and try to do as much as we can. But I won't allow it to be on the cheshbon of tefillah b'tzibur.
But we'll lose valuable time.
Panosa comes from Hashem. He doesn't need that much time to send us a big client. One big client is enough. Let's go daven now, and after davening, I will tell you a great story that proves my point. Okay, davening is done now. Are you ready to hear this story?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a story that I heard from Rabbi Zachariah Wallerstein about his father. Many years ago, there was a very wealthy Jewish man by the name of Milton Petrie. Milton Petrie owned a chain of women's clothing stores, over 1,000 of them, and it was called Petrie's. He was extremely successful. Mr. Wallerstein had decided to try and sell him some nylon bags for his shop, and he called the secretary one morning to try and make an appointment. Hello?
Hello, Petrie's. Can I help you?
Yes, my name is Mr. Wallerstein, and I was wondering if I could speak to the chairman, to Mr. Petrie.
And what's it about?
I sell nylon bags that are made in Israel, and I would like to sell some to your shop.
I don't think he has time to speak to people like you.
Please, I'm begging you, please let me speak to Mr. Petrie.
Sorry, maybe call back next week. Bye.
A week later, he called again.
Hello, Petrie's.
Yes, hello, it's Mr. Wallerstein again. Any chance I could speak to Mr. Petrie?
Oh, he's just in a meeting, sorry. Not today. Please try again.
Mr. Wallerstein tried again and again, until finally, one day the secretary said,
You just keep calling. Will you quit it already?
That's because I need to speak to Mr. Petrie. Will you please put me through?
If I put you through and he says no, will you stop calling me every week and you're driving me crazy?
Yes. If I get to speak to Mr. Petrie and he says no, then I will just leave you alone. I won't call ever again.
Okay, I'm putting you through now.
Milton Petrie? Oh, hello, Mr. Petrie. My name is Mr. Wallerstein. Hello, can I help you? Yes, and I would really like to help you. Really? And how is that you want to help me? I've never even met you. Well, I sell plastic bags that are made in Eretz Yisrael, in the land of Israel. And I know that you are a massive supporter of the Jewish people, and specifically in the land of Israel. I am. I'm very proud of that. That's right, and everybody knows it. So how would you like to buy the bags from me for all of your shops? I can give you an excellent price. You'll have bags, and you'll be supporting the Jewish people and the land of Israel at the same time. How about that? What do you say? Sounds interesting. Well, can we meet and discuss this over dinner? Okay, I will put you through to my secretary, and he'll make the reservation.
Hello, Petrie's.
Hi, it's Mr. Wallerstein again.
Again? I thought you said that you'd leave me alone after he says no.
I would, but he said yes.
Exactly. You said you would leave us alone if he didn't want your bags.
Yeah, but he said yes.
He said what?
He said yes.
Wow, he almost never does that.
Yes, Baruch Hashem. Thank God. Now, I'd like to book a meeting with Mr. Petrie at Luigi Siegel's in Manhattan at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Is that okay? And we will discuss the business proposition over dinner.
All right, I'll put it in his diary.
Mr. Wallerstein came home and asked his wife, who was also a secretary, to come with him to the restaurant. We need to be there at 5 p.m. so we can have enough time to eat and discuss, and I will still have enough time to go and daven mincha with the minyan at 8 p.m. around the corner. Mr. Wallerstein got to the restaurant on time and sat down with his wife. At 5:15, he looked at his watch and he said, I'm sure he's only a little bit behind. Big businessmen keep people waiting. That's just how it is. The clock kept moving, and by the time Mr. Petrie showed up, it was already 7 o'clock. Oh, Mr. Petrie, so nice to see you. Did you wait for me? No, not at all, not at all. I was meant to be here at 6:30, so half an hour is not so late. No, it's fine. We've not been here for long, actually, so sit down. Here's a menu. Let's look at the things. Let's choose something. I'd love to have a discussion with you about what's happening. They chose the food and settled into the restaurant. When it was nearly 8 o'clock, Mr. Wallerstein turned to his wife and whispered to her, Can I speak to you privately for a minute? Sure. I need to daven mincha and marav now with the minyan. Please, can you keep him busy in the meantime, and I'll be back as soon as I can. What should I talk to him about? I've got nothing to say. Just try. Just make small talk with him. I'll be back as soon as I can, okay? Okay. Mr. Wallerstein walked out and went to daven, and Mrs. Wallerstein spent the next 40 minutes speaking to Mr. Petrie and making small talk. When Mr. Wallerstein finally got back, he sat down at the table, and Mr. Petrie said to him, Where have you been? Are you okay? I thought you got up just for a few minutes, but you were out for 40 minutes. I was worried about you. Yes, I'm fine. Well, maybe you got sick or something. No, I'm absolutely fine. I just had a meeting. A meeting? In the middle of the meeting that I'm having with you? Who else did you schedule at the same time? That's a chutzpah. Well, I had a meeting with the president of the world. Who's the president of the world? I've never heard of him. Well, I had planned this dinner to start really at 5 p.m. But unfortunately, you could only make it for 7, and that's fine. But I had to go and pray. That meeting is with Hashem, who runs the whole world. I know you run Petrie's, and it's a huge business, and I'd love to be able to work with you. But the president of the world runs an even bigger company. He runs everything. Wallerstein? Yeah? You have my business. I'm not going to meet with anyone else about this. A person who meets with the president of the world every single day, that's the kind of person that I want to be doing business with. For many years afterwards, Mr. Petrie did business with Mr. Wallerstein, and any time somebody called up and wanted to try to sell him bags at a cheaper price, he would say, My current supplier works for the president of the world itself, and he has got frequent meetings with him. Can you say that about yourself? I didn't think so. No, even for a cheaper price, I only deal with Wallerstein, who meets the president of the world 3 times a day. The mincha that looked like it could have ruined his chances was what got him the business in the end. So do you see what I'm saying? When I turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who is in charge of the world, things work out differently for me. That was what Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to explain to Paroi in this week's Sedra, as he was doing the makas, and as he did the meifus, the sign of the stick. My stick is not the same as yours. You said you don't know who Hashem is. Let me introduce you to him. I come here with the koyach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it will beat any kishuf, any sorcery that you can do. I work for the president of the world, and until you, Paroi, realize that Hashem is the president of the world, you will continue getting makas.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
I couldn't help but listening to that amazing story. Are you here on business?
Yes, I am.
And you gave up your time because you were talking to the world's president as well, didn't you?
I guess we did.
Well, I'm looking for someone like that who's in construction. And you guys look like you would know somebody around here. Do you know someone that's in construction?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, we have a construction company. Great. Let's sit down and talk together. I have lots of big ideas, and I need people who I could trust, and people who daven mincha now, instead of trying to find out who they can do business with and daven later be yechidus. Those are the people that I want to do business with. You're the right kind of guys. Sure, have a seat. Let's talk. This is what we do. These are the kind of buildings that we build. These are the projects that we've done in the past.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org